Hey, good morning. It's Guido. Welcome back to Tactics Talk. I'm going to do a video related to a video about a week ago where I had a contest for an M41 Delta, the winner of which I will announce at the end of this video. The contest was put your best informational websites, YouTube, Twitch, whatever it is, your go-to place for World of Tanks information. And I got a lot of comments, 500 something views, which is actually good for me, quite high really. And about 233 comments. A lot of you putting in great comments. So I wanted to do a video and touch on a lot of the people and places that you can get information for World of Tanks, which is something I'm trying to do on this channel, is be an educational kind of idea here. So let's get started with that. I'll turn off the camera because you don't need to see me talking here, but we're going to jump in here and take a look at a lot of the places you can get good information on World of Tanks. All right, we'll start here. This is the video that started it all, the 1K update and M41 Delta giveaway. 499 views. All right, sue me, I lied. I said 500, I rounded up. And 223 comments. So I've gone through all these comments. I've tried to capture as many of these places. A lot of duplicates, of course, so we don't have 223 things to go through, but we probably have several dozen, maybe 3 dozen or so to take a look at. So go in here if you want to take a look at the raw data that I used right here. All of these comments have people. Some of them have links, names of people, Twitch channels, YouTube channels, all of that kind of thing. So let's get started with the first one. I'm going to start with one of the official pages, which is wattreplays.eu. Wattreplays.eu. And this is the place where you can upload replays. A little self-serving, because if you want to send me a replay to analyze, or at least it's a good one or a bad one, or something was learned, or you have a question about how you played it and you want me to answer it, you upload it to here, you send me the link, and I'll download it. I just want to mention that because I'm no longer accepting actual files attached to emails and things like that. Had some issues with the computer. I'm not saying that had anything to do with it, but I'm minimizing all possibilities as far as malicious code being introduced onto my computer. I have a 15-year-old son, so I have enough problems without introducing stuff on my own, trying to keep him in check with all the things he's downloading for games and whatnot. But the cool thing about this place is you can do find replay. You can look at all kinds of different sorting capability right here. You can find replays of the week, which is going to have all kinds of very good replays with lots of damage, good gameplay. So it's a great site to start with. I highly recommend going here, especially if you want to see gameplay for specific tanks and you're not worried about commentary. Just grab the replay and then start it up and take a look at it. It's a great deal. So we will start with the YouTube, and then we will start with Talgrim, who's one of the better known, and especially as far as better known teaching YouTubers in his road to Unicum. He's got a lot of videos that he puts out. You can see that it's not necessarily every day. It looks like about once a week, sometimes twice a week, depending on when he puts them out, but they're well put together. Good information on these. One other thing I'll say as we go through the YouTube, a lot of these same names will also do Twitch. They will stream as well. Some of them also have a website with information on it. If I don't cover both for any one person, just realize, get on the Google, do your Google foo, and you can start finding some of these same names streaming or doing YouTube. The difference between streaming and YouTube, well, streaming, some streamers talk about what they're doing, some don't. Some are more about entertainment, some are more about teaching. You just have to look at that. For YouTube, it's kind of some of the same thing. Maybe you're just seeing a really good game or you're seeing some explanation. But what I will say about Talgrim is that he really explains what he's doing. He has good knowledge, excellent knowledge actually, of the game, and he's a very good player. He has a nice delivery, so it's not difficult to follow. Highly recommend the Road to Unicum and Talgrim's YouTube channel. Next one up is Cody Menz. He is an NACC. You've probably watched some of his stuff based on the scavenger hunt that things have been going on. If you remember that Talgrim was about 38,000 people subbed. Cody's at about 7,000 people subbed right here. Also very good. Does a bit of explaining. Does a lot of live streaming. And you can see that some of his videos are from his live stream as well. If you go to his live stream, I think I'm going to talk about it when we get to Twitch. But he's got a lot of stuff going on there, little contests, and you can level up with, I think they're called Levi biscuits or something like that. So some of the streamers have these little extra things going on in their stream to entertain people as you go. He's also informational to some extent in a lot of these videos here, so highly recommend Cody Menz. The other thing about Cody, and we will get this later, is that he's got WOTGuru.com, and we'll talk about that later, but that's a very good, hard informational site. All right, let's go on to the next one. The next one up is Four Tankers and a Dog at about 13,000 subs. Four Tankers a Dog is also a very good informational and teaching YouTuber. He does the tanking with science. He actually breaks down the game mechanics and explains exactly what's going on, and then he tests it with fairly rigorous testing standards, and he'll come up with an answer via the numbers on there. So very good at scouts. His scouting guides are pretty famous in the community. If you want to know how to scout, he's a go-to guy. But also for basic game mechanics, or even some of the more esoteric game mechanics, there's a lot of great videos. Tends to put one out, I was going to say once a day, but it's not quite once a day. Every couple days looks like that he's got videos coming out there. Also a very kind of straightforward, calm guy in his videos. I think there's a lot less entertainment on his videos and a lot more information. So if you're looking for the no kidding bottom line on something, tanking with science, then Four Tankers and a Dog is highly recommended. All right, Klaus Kellerman. I'm sure nearly everybody knows Klaus Kellerman. Very, very entertaining channel, but he also gets into some details and talks a lot to the I'm going to call it the common player, but the intermediate to beginner player, basically giving the no kidding bottom line for things. Unvarnished truth, let's put it that way, the unvarnished truth, but there's also some very funny things. The guy is a very funny guy without really even trying, and tends to put out a video a day. So you're going to see Klaus somewhere around 8 in the morning show up with a video. He's got, what, 54,000 subs, so he's one of the larger, at least NA YouTube presences out there. I highly recommend Klaus. If you want a good laugh, just turn on a Klaus video and you will end up laughing, I guarantee it. All right, next up we've got Lemming Rush, and he's sitting at about 52,000 subscribers, probably one of the larger informational and teaching YouTubers out there. His videos are just a constant stream of consciousness of exactly what he's doing and thinking and what you should be doing and thinking along the way. In fact, I think, to be quite honest, he is a little bit more on step with that than I am. There's a little bit of dead time in mine. He never stops talking about all the things that he is thinking and doing, and you should be thinking and doing in the videos. He doesn't put one out once a day. It looks like a couple a week is his basic schedule for putting the videos out there. But Lemming Rush, also a very good, calm delivery. There's not a lot of entertainment going on right here, not a lot of silliness, that kind of thing. But again, another very good informational and learning YouTuber for Lemming Rush. All right, next up is True Voodoo at about 1,311 subscribers. He does a lot of Twitch as well, so he does stream. Look him up there. He's kind of a mix of entertainment and informational. Some of his videos are very descriptive and information. Some of them are just kind of funny. The Redlining Explained, for example, was a pretty funny video right there. So a bit of a mix. Seems to put out a video every week or so in general, but I think you'll find him on Twitch a lot more. So check out True Voodoo as well. Next up is Des Games, which is a pretty big channel, 953 subscribers. Tends to put out a video about every 2 days or so in general. Some informational and some educational. Also has an amazing grasp of the English language. Clearly not his first language, but kind of just sounds like somebody talking. So I only mention that because most of my viewers are going to be English speakers, and sometimes with the accents it's a little difficult to understand. You're going to have no trouble with Des. It really knocks it out of the park as far as his videos go and understandability. So highly recommend Des Games. You're going to get a lot of goodness out of that. All right, the next one's one of the largest ones, Quickie Baby. Most people know him. If you don't, he's got 500,000 subscribers. Does a lot of World of Tanks. I think he does some other games as well. Right now, he's actually doing a challenge for the EBR by playing his free-to-play account, attempting to do it, and he's updating as we go. A lot of times a video a day, but not necessarily out of Quickie Baby, so you won't be necessarily getting a video every day out of him. And it's a combination of entertainment and information. I wouldn't say it's like on Klaus Kellerman's entertainment kind of side where it's just a lot of comedy, but he does do some entertaining stuff. Also tends to talk about some more of the bigger picture meta things that are going on with the World of Tanks. So if you're looking for some of the meta, some of the commentary on wargaming, that kind of thing, then Quickie Baby is a good source for that. So back down to some of the smaller YouTubers, we got Sofaline. I'm not really Sophie. I'm not really sure how you say it. I'll just stick with Sophie on that. She's one of the NACCs as well. She's got an interesting channel because she'll do things like walkarounds of tanks. Right now, she's teamed up with the Chieftain and seems to be doing quite a bit of stuff with wargaming themselves. So there's some videos on the portals with her and Chieftain doing some walkarounds. So that's actually pretty cool. And I believe she does do some Twitch streaming. So check out Sophie as well. All right, World of Tanks North America actually has a YouTube page with videos. For example, Tragic Loss and Cabbage Mechanic make mince meat out of foes. So that's probably them streaming from the office right there. There's one of the videos of Chieftain and Sophie I just talked about at the American Heritage Museum. So there's things like that. You can also get Michael Lovin's, whatever it's called, Watt Weekly, right? Watt Weekly with Michael right there, so you can find those videos. All kinds of interview videos, all the old guys walking around tanks, talking about tanks for the grognards and all that kind of thing. So lots of stuff on this. This is a good place to go. I would almost say it's better than the portal because it's just videos and you can kind of take a look at them, sort them. Sometimes digging around the portal and finding the video you want in amongst all the other news things is kind of a pain. So a good source right there. The Mighty Jingles. Both these guys would probably hate this, but he's sort of like Quickie Baby, but not really. I know they would both hate me saying that. Not that they would care since I'm such a small YouTuber. But Jingles tends to do other things like ships and planes and some other stuff like that. So you'll find Jingles playing quite a few different. In fact, he might even do War Thunder. I'm not exactly sure on there. But I'm probably not supposed to mention that as a CC, right? Is that verboten? All of a sudden I'm going to be banned. You see he's got Red Dead Redemption there as well. But he's got 500,000 subscribers. And he's pretty sarcastic and actually quite funny. Not on the Klaus Kellerman slapstick kind of funny, but on more the dry British humor funny. Mighty Jingles, I enjoy most of his videos just for the commentary because it is actually pretty funny, at least to me. So highly recommend that. If you're a ships and planes and other game player, then probably this is one of your go-to guys as well. So check out the Mighty Jingles. All right, next up is Xander P, who is more of a Twitch streamer really than a YouTuber. He does have some videos up, but they tend to be things like Tank Fest, going to military museums. He does have a few reviews. Here's a quick review right here, things like that. So there is some informational stuff on there as well, but generally a Twitch streamer for Xander. Good player though, so definitely watch his stream if you were looking for some tips from Xander. All right, next up is Circonflexes with Circon with 103,000 subscribers. Pretty big channel here, at least for a North American channel, although he may be actually European here. In any event, a lot of videos, a very good player. Not a lot of description of what he's doing, but if you want good rage reactions to bad shots or him getting pinned or lit on fire, he's actually pretty good as well. And you'll find him streaming as well. So check that out. All right, next up is Skill4L2U. Skill42U, 4L2U, not sure. Well, I was going to say he's Russian. I'm not 100% sure, but he's over in Eastern Europe, I would imagine, based on the accent. A little bit hard to understand, at least for me, but it is doable. However, you don't really have to understand him to know that he's an unbelievably good player. Unbelievably good. So his videos will be good for seeing the no-kidding top end of gameplay right there. 27,000 subscribers, good videos. I believe he also streams, knows a lot of the other very good players, often will stream with them as well, so you can get information out of him. Seriously, if you want to see top end gameplay and kind of understand how the meta is at the top end of skill, then this is the guy you want to go to, one of the guys you want to go to. Next up is Sam Lockhart, who has a combination of gameplay videos and the more meta discussions, such as this one down here, The Correct Approach to Watt regarding money, where he gets into the garage and talks about more meta things as well. So you're going to get both of those out of Sam Lockhart. When he does describe things, he goes into very good detail on his descriptions. You also know he plays other games, so it's not everything going to be World of Tanks as far as the videos go. And it's about one every 2 or 3 days, it appears to be, videos from Sam Lockhart. Next up is Lucky Leopard. You can see he plays a lot of different tanks, plays a lot of different games as well. He's kind of started moving away from World of Tanks a little bit. He still makes World of Tanks videos, but there was a video a while back, I don't know if I can find it here, where he was pretty irritated with World of Tanks, and he's made a couple videos about that. However, there's still some good stuff here, and he does cover other games as well. I do recommend Lucky Leopard at 30,000 or so subs out there. Good YouTuber. Next up is Zevin, who hasn't really been heard from on YouTube for a while. Looks like 7 months ago since the last thing, but there's still some good information in these videos here, so I'd definitely check that out. Not sure if he's still streaming or not, but some of it's starting to get dated, but there's still some good info there for Zevin. This is one that I was not aware of. Awesome Epic Guys. It's a YouTube channel with two guys, the Awesome Epic Guys, and they play a lot of World of Tanks as well. You can see they've got quite a few videos there. Definitely worth it. Wasn't my style really, but there is some interesting content in here, and you can see they've got all the editing foo going on for Awesome Epic Guys. Pretty big channel. Hadn't actually ever heard of them, but there you go. Check it out. Now we've got Sir Foch. Sir Foch, he of the controversy. It looks like he hasn't put a video out for about a month, and they don't seem to come out very fast for his YouTube channel. Seems to be more of a Twitch streamer. Not sure if Foch is still playing. I think he is, so check him out on Twitch as well. There is some interesting videos here, but it's mostly about just epic games. So if you want to see some really good gameplay, people going crazy, then check out Sir Foch's YouTube channel. Next up is Just for Lols FYI, which has got a lot of funny gameplay snippets and videos in it. It's not just World of Tanks, but pretty well edited and funny stuff right there. For a more lighthearted view of World of Tanks, check out Just for Lols. Next is Zekin Space 60 FPS with 143,000 subscribers. This is the series Epic Wins and Fails. Tends to be no commentary, just a lot of crazy, funny things going on. Epic Wins and Fails there. So for more of an entertaining aspect, then check out Zekin 60 FPS. All right, now we're going to jump into some of the Twitch stuff. Remember, a lot of those YouTubers are also Twitch streamers. Just a couple to talk about right here. Mountain Man streams quite a bit, 20 hours ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Looks like pretty much every day or close to it. You can also see that he doesn't always do World of Tanks. So I think he's fallen off of World of Tanks just a little bit, but you will find him streaming World of Tanks, and some of these streams will be multiple games. So if you want to check out some recordings of streams, then Mountain Man is a good place to start. Next up is Ominous Fixin. She tends to stream about every other day, every 3 days, something like that. Sometimes it's a couple days in a row. But good streamer. She talks to her viewers. They have discussions. She seems to be a fairly level-headed individual, so it's a good stream to watch. Not a lot of craziness going on, so definitely check out Ominous Fixin. She's one of the NACCs as well. Next up is Jerm, J-E-R-M-N-A, who's a very good player. There doesn't tend to be a lot on his Twitch stream of explanation on what's going on. You're just going to see very good gameplay. He will talk to his watchers, talk to the audience a little bit as well. But you're just going to see really good gameplay out of Jerm, N-A, J-E-R-M_N-A. Check out his Twitch. Next up is Air G, who's a really good player. His schedule says weekdays 9 p.m. onward, I think CST. But either his recordings aren't turned on or he's not doing the streams as much as he used to be. But you can check out his recordings here as well. If he is streaming, definitely check out RG. Extremely good player. You're going to learn a lot just from watching him. All right, next up we've got Goshim, something like that. One thing about his stream, you'll notice at least the recordings, and if you see these little red things here, it means he's probably has music in the background and it's copyright protected, so it'll blank out what he's talking about. But in general, he does discuss what he's doing while he's streaming. So watching his recordings, at least you'll get some of the information about what he's thinking as he goes. So good player as well. Check out Goshism. One of the smaller ones up and coming. Give him some subs. Next up, we've got Foos Games. He is a fairly active streamer. Smaller channel now at 593 followers, so give him a follow. He does describe some of what he's doing, though he does have music in the background, which will cut out some of the audio, at least the voice audio, while that song is playing. Next up is Trobs Monkey, who definitely does a lot more than just World of Tanks. He's got a lot of followers at 13,000. It's kind of a mix of gameplay and entertainment. Check out Trobs Monkey. All right, last one for the Twitch is Dakilzor, which is someone I had not heard of, which is interesting because he's got 40,000 followers on Twitch right there. You will find him doing a lot of platoons and clan stuff, so there'll be a lot of different voices going on. You can hear them talking, whatever they're using, TeamSpeak or what's the new one called? My brain has stopped. It's gone to mush. Discord, that's it. Whatever comm software that they're using right there. But very good player. I haven't heard him do a whole lot of explaining what he's doing. Pretty much just plays the game. You'll hear him talking to each one, but he does talk a little bit to the audience as well. So check out Dakilzor. All right, next we're going to move on from the Twitch and the YouTube stuff, start talking about some of the informational websites, forums, other things like that. Reddit is a great place to start. There's the NA forums. We'll talk about that in a minute. There's Reddit. There's a couple other forums out there that are all good places to get information. Remember, it's Reddit, so it's got all the associated Reddit things as far as the way the posts are racked and stacked and all that good stuff. But there it is. Get into Reddit. If you are not a Redditor, you do have to establish a presence there with comments. So once you make an account, you have to build up a little bit of karma before you can start doing things. Just, you'll have to take a look at that. I won't describe the whole deal, but most of you will probably know that, having dealt with Reddit in there as well. The other forum, other than the NA one, that I would recommend is here at Watt Labs. A large amount of very good players post here. Warning, warning. They're probably going to hate me for this. It can occasionally get a little bit toxic in there. Usually because somebody comes in throwing BS around liberally, and it's unlike the NA forum. They don't really cotton to that stuff over at Watt Labs. So if you come in and say something dopey, you're going to get piled on. And you're probably going to get piled on hard. But if you want some very good information from very good players, this is the place, one of the places that you want to go. So check out the Watt Labs forums. It's a lot quieter than it used to be, but there's still a lot of good information, historical data, and there are still people talking. In general, if you go in there with an honest question, not acting like a hot mess, you're going to get an honest answer out of it. So check it out. All right, some of the recommended blogs you probably want to check out. The Daily Bounce right here. Good information website. Talks about ships as well. And I think airplanes. I'm not sure if he covers airplanes. We've also got Status Report. That's Rita's status report right there. Very similar to the Daily Bounce in that it gives different articles. Different writers, of course, are contributing to that. But Status Report, that's a good one as well. Which brings us to the Armored Patrol. Again, another blog with good information in there. The Armored Patrol is a good place to go. The Chieftains videos about a lot of stuff, a lot of historical videos and things that aren't necessarily gameplay related are going to be in here as well, but also some links to World of Tanks stuff, to Wargaming stuff that they put on their portal. There'll be some links to here, kind of sorted and racked and stacked to what these guys think is important. And that brings us down to Tracks Up, which is one of the smaller ones out there. Tracks Up is another good blog. A lot of times you're going to find the same. One of the reason I use 4 different blogs here is because I will look at the same article about the same thing, not necessarily the same article, but an article about the same thing and get it from 3 or 4 different perspectives. What I find really interesting is they will all use different translators for some of the Russian language stuff that's out there, and you might get a little bit of a different kind of view depending on how the translator translated those words. Oftentimes when I do my videos on Sunday, I'm going off on a slight tangent here, but I will find myself in a little bit of a confusion or pickle because I'm not exactly sure what they mean by the words that the translator chose, and since I don't know the original language and the context and all that, sometimes we can go off down a strange rabbit hole because we're assuming some translation meant something that it did not mean at all. So that's my random tangent for the day right there. Tracks up. All right, so that brings us now to some of the more informational sites, which is going to start with tanks.gg. Man, this is a great place to start to learn about the details of tanks in the games. I'm not going to dig around this too much. I'll let you do it, but NAEU Asia, you can look up your name, you can get stats, all right? So that's one thing you can do. Probably the coolest thing that tanks.gg does is it gets all the tanks in the game. Let's just randomly pick one. And that's where I get these 3D model things. Absolutely fantastic for showing you how angling might work, what the thickness of various armor is. You can actually change the gun that's shooting at you, change the ammo that's going to be shooting at you. Lots of capability. I'm not even going to dig into it. I'll let you do that yourself. It can be, it's a bit of a steep learning curve, but once you start to understand how it's laid out, tanks.gg, I cannot recommend this site more if you're really actually interested in learning the details of the game. Tanks.gg. How many times have I said it? All right, so Watt Labs, the forum that I talked about, also has a stats area. And again, NAEU Asia, you can look up any player you want right there. There you go. So you can look at all that stuff. And it's a good place to get your stats. Next up is Old Noob Meter. Now, I've heard various accounts of this being alive and dead. It appears to be still alive, but the same thing here. You go NA, you look up your name, and you find your stats. So you do this, and I go Guido1212, and then I go player, and I can look at how badly I've done lately. And once it starts to come back to me, which is actually pretty badly, I seem to be getting worse somehow as I go. Well, in the last 7 battles I did pretty good, but not too bad, and it breaks it all down. So good site for your stats, which is Noob Meter. Another one that's stats that not a lot of people know is wattlife.com. Same idea. You can look up a player or a clan. It's got a list of all the top players, the top clans, all that good stuff. So wattlife.com. Wattinfo. You can see a lot of people have basically grab the API and use that to in various ways, making their websites. You can see it, same thing, camo values, stats, tracking, top players. I don't know if you can search yourself on this. There you go, calculate efficiency, camo values, lots of stuff that you can do on Wattinfo. Tank Collector is a new one. This is actually made by Silver Sound, I think. We'll see if it even loads up. It is a work in progress. So this is me, since I looked myself up lately and I showed up here. But it's pretty good. You can sort it by win rate. So there's on my 100% win rate. You can set it up by, let's see, damage expected. I don't know whether that's really useful or not. You can set it up by, well, let's see. Let's do win 8. There we go. That's what I was looking for. There you go. So there's all the EPing stuff right there. So you can sort it by all of these different values. It's got all the tanks that you've played. You can get all your Arty. Oh my gosh, I've played Arty. You can get your TDs, all that good stuff. So this is a new site, work in progress, but well done, well executed, and it's actually pretty cool because then you can just kind of take a big snapshot look at a lot of tanks at once right there for Tank Collector. Watt Guru, I mentioned this way early in the video. Very good place. This is Cody Men's website. All kinds of great information on this. Kind of a blog, kind of a training website. So check out wattguru.com. Highly recommended, especially if you want to learn about the ins and outs of the game. That brings us to Home Watt NA. This is another player's website. And it's not Sabo. I can't remember who it is. It's not listed here that I can tell. Anyway, check that one out. This is one I haven't messed with, obviously, because you can hear the silence there. It's got some links to some of the other, like Wargaming Daily Bounce Armor Patrol Status Report. That's for news. So I cannot remember. I'm sorry, dude, whoever it was in there. Put it down in the comments if you actually watch my YouTube videos. Tell me who built this. I cannot remember, but this one's also seems to be a work in progress. We can check it out. All right. Couple to go. Strat Sketch. This is a great one because it's got all the different maps here, and you can take a look at it, and you can draw on the map, and you can put squares and circles. So if you're doing any kind of calling, if you're a caller, a lot of people will use this, but it's a great tool. I use it for my map room series, and it's a great tool sometimes just to look at the map and kind of look at it and figure out where you want to go and that kind of thing. So that's a good resource. And last but not least, I'll throw this out. I've run into this problem a couple times. Old replays don't work. I'm not going to download old clients, but if you really wanted to, you can go to older World of Tanks versions. And you can download a zipped file that's the old client. That's the old client. Well, all right, that was a lot of stuff. A lot of different websites, a lot of players. There's even more out there. That's probably just scratching the surface, but it seems to be some of the more go-to people that you guys have recommended. I knew a lot of them, some I didn't know. So hopefully that helps some of you guys as you start to expand out and try to learn about the game and get better at the game right there. And now comes the winner of the M41D. All right, the winner is Deputy Commander 250814 from the NA server, but this is always going to be NA server, unfortunately. Sorry, EU guys, wasn't able to make that happen, but the M41 Delta goes to Deputy Commander 250814. Congratulations, man. You know, originally I was going to pick the best suggestion, but there were just so many. I just went down the list, and hey, I am nothing if not arbitrary, random, and capricious. So Deputy Commander 250814, expect Domo to credit your account with an M41 Delta. Congratulations, man. For everybody else, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you.